Hi, I'm Blues Dad, and welcome to stormy whatever day of the week I decide to make a video on. Last year, I lost my job at a famous Japanese company, so I have lots of free time to play with my gear and make videos about it for YouTube. So if you have a lot of free time too, why don't you stick around because I have something very special to share today. I don't know why I don't need my glasses. It's not my glasses. That's not what I want to share. I'm so nervous. I dropped it. Them. I'm so nervous. I forgot to use the correct pronoun to describe my toys. Actually, these aren't my toys, but they could be your toys and your toys too, because these are for sale on Reverb. And that's probably why you're looking at this video, because I made this video for Reverb.com because I'm trying to sell my gear. You know, if you're not happy with the way your amp sounds, you can get a new speaker. But you don't have to get a new speaker. If you're not unhappy, you don't have to swap the speaker. You can get yourself a graphic equalizer. And now, typically, the graphic equalizer you're going to get, which is the same graphic equalizer I got, is could be a Dan Electrofish and Chips or a Boss GE7 or something like that, or an MXR. You know, those are the good ones. And then I had, you can get, Ibanez makes them, and a lot of companies make them, and they've got the same, you know, 6 or 7 bands starting from memory, 80 hertz and going up to about 6,000 or 6 kilohertz, right? Which is about the range of a guitar speaker. This one is different. You can see that the bands, maybe you won't because this is reversed, but you can see that the bands start at 63 hertz and they go all the way up to 8,000 or 8 kilohertz, which makes it kind of similar to the MXR 10 band, or the, anytime you see a 10 band EQ, it tends to have, those bands, and it'll go down to 32 hertz or up to 16,000 hertz, which is way outside the range of a guitar speaker. So, so then why do you want an 8-band graphic equalizer? Oh yes, have I mentioned this is an 8-band graphic equalizer? That's one more than a 7-band equalizer, right? Or two more than a 6-band graphic equalizer. Isn't that cool that you can have 2 extra bands? But you just said, Blues Dad, the 63 hertz and 8,000 hertz is way outside the range of a typical guitar speaker like the one I've got on this amp. Well, yes, but that doesn't mean, well, look, if you look at a graph, don't look at, look, when I say look, I mean, look at a graph for a speaker, and then you'll see that, again, there's a kind of a curve in the graph where it starts to slope down from, I don't know, somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 hertz, or 5 or 6 kilohertz, or 6 kilohertz for short. I don't know. I mean, I've been playing with these things for a long time, so it's just easy for me to think of the actual number instead of, there's no need to make shorthand if the word is coming, or the number, or the value of the frequency band is coming out of Blues Dad's mouth. So I'm going to set up the camera because I know you don't want to hear me talk. You want to hear how this pedal sounds, and you want to hear how this pedal sounds, and they're different. What's different about them? It's not because this one has a glow-in-the-dark equalizer sticker. It's because this one, I replaced the op amps. There were 2 TLO64 quad op amps, and I replaced them with TLO74 op amps, which are newer, and they're a lot quieter. And you're gonna, if you don't believe me, you're gonna hear for yourself when I change the camera angle, plug all of this stuff in so you can actually hear it. Blah, blah, blah. Now this band, I usually leave this one alone. You can hear dramatically makes the sound a lot thicker
and a lot harder. I don't usually I leave it alone, a lot louder. This is the one is I find is you notice how it even when you're cutting it, it gets hissy. That's the sound I like. I really like this thing, but we don't need. I don't need to cut too much. Oh yeah, you hear it sounds a little bit quieter now when this thing's on, even though you've got three of the bands boosted. So I'm gonna go ahead and boost 250 because you don't have to use every band on an EQ, but it's nice to have it if you need it, right? So I'll boost all of these just a little bit, except this one. Ah, that's not helping with the hiss right now. Sometimes cutting 8 hertz, 8 kilohertz, excuse me, will reduce the hiss. What's interesting about this is usually 2 kilohertz is a really good frequency to boost for the guitar, but with this, I guess if there's already, if it's, I really don't find myself using it so much with this. Middle, this is both pickups. Pretty nice. Uh, yeah, that's the one I usually want to avoid. And yeah, so sometimes really less is more. Let's hear what the other one does, okay? I'm going to set it the same. Put that all the way because even if it's set all the way, you're not really going to hear it because, as I explained, you don't. As I explained, the speaker won't produce those frequencies anyway. Again, that's why it's nice to have a graphic equalizer with all of these 8 bands for different amplifiers and different guitars. Here we go. Let's first of all hit them both at the same time. Here's some noise. Well, that sounds like it's not really so different, does it? Of course, this is unfair because I've got the noisier pedal going into the less noisy pedal. So everything from the noisy pedal is going to get picked up. Let's swap them, okay? All right, so let's hear. Definitely more hiss. Now, you'll see now, right? Now let's hear what happens if we do this. It's dramatically quieter. Definitely more hiss, but maybe you can't tell so much now. Keep in mind that the equalizer is going to amplify any amount of noise that comes before it, and any pedal that comes after an equalizer is going to get all of that noise too. So even if you can't really hear the difference in this comparison, I guess I'll do another. I guess I need to do another video where they're on my pedal board, and then you can hear, because that's really my primary application for this equalizer, and the reason I like it so much is because it does nice things to overdrive, not so much because it does nice things to clean sounds. One more test. Just gonna put it all the way up here. Now it's definitely audible, okay? And I'm gonna turn the microphone sensitivity all the way up from 5 to 10 on my Line 6 Sonic port. Now you can definitely hear the difference, can't you? Okay? That concludes our test. Now, in some of my other videos, I talked about this Peavey Blazer and how much how great I think it is as a practice amp. This is going to be our test amp for today, and this video, because I'm lazy and one of the tricks I learned at university was that you can write a paper for one class, you can change a few things, and then submit it to another class, and you can get an A in both classes. So